Welcome, dear friends, to a virtual tour of Magdala. Magdala, located on the western shore of the Sea of Galilee in Israel, holds immense spiritual importance. In fact, many biblical scholars and archaeologists consider Magdala one of the top Jesus locations in all of the Holy Land. So sit back and let us tell you why. Magdala is a rather recent discovery. It was discovered in 2009 when a hotel along the Sea of Galilee was being built, and lo and behold, during their survey they discovered the wall of an ancient synagogue. This was a huge find. Until this time they had found only 6 first-century synagogues in all of Israel, and then they found this one. The 7th, and the only one in the Galilee where Jesus lived and ministered. So this was no ordinary synagogue. It's a first-century synagogue from the time of Jesus, close to his ministry base in the town of Capernaum. But there was even more to be found than the synagogue. Sitting in the middle of the synagogue was a stone that had sat there for 2,000 years. When they started to clean the dirt around the stone, they found a rock covered in engravings pointing to the temple in Jerusalem, and most probably where the Torah was read every Sabbath. Now notice all these rock benches. This is where the people sat, looking at the person reading from the Torah. We know that Jesus went to the synagogues to teach, so here it's almost certain that Jesus used this stone to read and share the good news. Imagine the awe and inspiration that must have filled this space as his words echoed through these halls. There are very few places in all of the Holy Land where you can say with almost complete certainty that you can touch the very stones where our Savior was 2,000 years ago. Yes, this is a profoundly sacred site. Now let's take another quick walk around town to get a broader view of the city. As we walk through the town, we see pits dug in the ground. This is where fish were brought in to be processed into salted fish for both preservation as well as a popular Roman condiment. So is this where Jesus' disciples brought their fish? Well, probably. So imagine Peter, Andrew, James, and John walking these streets, selling their fish, and probably Peter was bargaining extra hard. So this is a place of Jesus' fishermen disciples, and Mary Magdalene. All this industry made Magdala an extremely wealthy town, and this is where Mary Magdalene steps into the picture. We read from Luke chapter 8. After this, Jesus traveled about from one town and village to another, proclaiming the good news of the kingdom. The 12 were with him, and also some women who had been cured of evil spirits and diseases. Mary, called Magdalene, from whom 7 demons had come out. Joanna, the wife of Chuza, the manager of Herod's household, Susanna, and many others. These women were helping to support them out of their own means. In the 6th century, a false theory was promoted that said Mary Magdalene was a prostitute. That is certainly not biblical or historical. What we know is that Mary Magdalene went through a radical transformation through Jesus casting multiple demons out of her. She was most probably wealthy, perhaps from the fish processing industry, right here in Magdala. And she, along with other women, supported Jesus in his ministry. And of course, she also was with Jesus at his crucifixion and was the first to witness Jesus after his resurrection. So when we visit Magdala, we step into the very pages of the Scriptures. Another important feature of Magdala is the Catholic Center. This unique building, inspired by the encounter between Jesus and the disciples by the Sea of Galilee, serves as a place of reflection and prayer. Its stunning mosaics and breathtaking views inspire each one of us to deepen our connection with God, to put out into the deep, and to trust God for miracles in our lives and also in the lives of others. Now, let's move to the shores of the Sea of Galilee, where Jesus and his disciples spent countless hours preaching, teaching, and performing miracles. As we conclude this short virtual tour, I pray that we all carry the inspiration of Magdala with us. May we be reminded of Mary Magdalene's faith and the teachings, the encouragement, and the healings of Jesus. Until our next episode of the Break Forth Virtual Holy Land Tour, may God's peace be with you.